Hello, beautiful souls. Blessings be to you today. Hello. We're tuning in for this beautiful, beautiful message. I would like you to invite you over to the live that I did this last week. Whenever you're seeing this, the lives are a channeled message from the divine and our star ancestors if they so choose to come through. And usually a 13 sign reading where I go through all 13 signs, not 12, 13 with Ophiuchus being included. And I just did that, so go ahead and check that out. Today we're going to talk about single energy. Being a single parent, feeling single, not being in a union, not having a relationship. What came through today during meditation was really kind of beautiful of I've had a lot of experience lately where people are like, oh, how do you make it as a single mother? I don't feel single. I don't feel single. I've been in a deep dive with myself for a better part of 6 years. At times it's difficult. At times it's challenging, especially when you're going through things and you're feeling alone. But I don't feel single. And connecting to the spaces of manifestation, connecting to the spaces of alignment within yourself, saying that you're single creates that paradigm of aloneness, right? So I invite you into a space today of thinking about you, your internal world, your soul, your human avatar, your connection to the earth, your connection to the sun, your connection to the Great Spirit. When you're solid in yourself, there's not really a singular, it's not single. There's no singular to you. When you're in union with yourself, there's no single aspect to your life. Everybody struggles. Whether you're in a relationship or not, everybody struggles, everybody suffers. I've been in a 40-day deep dive with Buddha, and he's been showing me these spaces of human suffering. And today, when the single energy came up, it was like this big thing of everybody holds pity on single people, which seems abstract because there's no such thing as being single. You're not alone. You're not empty. You're not separate from anything or anybody. We're still very, very connected to the people, to the world around us, to the Great Spirit, to our soul. And that is the deepest part about this teaching is you're not empty. Your soul is all encompassing. And when you're living for something, not just your children, not just a relationship, when you're living for something in yourself, it puts you on a whole different standing. I haven't been single my whole life. It's interesting that this is coming forward today. When I stepped out of the last relationship I was in, there was what some would consider a twin flame. And I realized the amount of codependency that we had for each other. And what does codependency mean? Codependency is sacrificing yourself for something outside of yourself. Sacrificing your needs, your feelings, your desires, sacrificing your very breath at times for that other person, for that other thing. Codependency isn't just relationships, there's addiction, right? Addiction is a part of codependency. And as starseeds, as deep human sensitive souls, codependency is easy because we're here to serve another. And through religious dogmas, that service has been to other humans. To sacrifice yourself was one of the biggest teachings in the Bible. Sacrifice yourself to connect to the Most High. And it wasn't the Most High, it was actually a priest, because only Jesus was allowed to connect to God. So this created a subconscious pattern within us of codependency. And this codependency created addiction, and not just on people, places, things, or drugs, but your phone. And also, healthy things can create an addiction, can create a codependency. So when I stepped out of that relationship quite a few years ago, I went into a deep dive into spirituality, esoteric teachings, shamanism, and dark psychology. Why do I call it dark psychology? Because I was sifting through the empath narcissistic curse. What is that? 555 when I said that. That is literally codependency. And being in a space of vulnerability and victimhood. Because how dare somebody treat you like that? How dare somebody not see how much love I pour into things? Very victim thoughts. And there's nothing wrong with that. If this triggers you, there's something for you to see in that. Part of being a victim is to be in a space of, I was treated this way because of the things I did, which is the biggest resentments we can hold within ourselves, which is valid. Resentments is a thing. When you do a lot of work, when you give a lot, when you give, and you love, resentments happen. We call it narcissism these days. It's kind of sad. Is it really narcissism, or is it space where you are self-sacrificing yourself? Self-sacrificing your very soul. Self-sacrificing your innermost love to something outside of yourself. Empath, narcissistic paradigm. And the single, empty aloneness that the collective has been sifting through. We're never really single. You're not alone. You're connected to all that is. And I know that sounds very esoteric, but is it really? Is it really esoteric? Is it really spiritual? Is it woo-woo to be connected to all that is? Your feet are on the earth. Your human being has cells, energy, bones, iron. It's the same fucking thing as the earth. Exactly the same thing. We have microbials, healthy bacteria that help us process our poop to bring us nutrients into our body. Same thing as the microbials in the soil and compost. The earth has iron, where our blood has iron. Copper, minerals, all the things. There is no separation. You're not separate. Look at that little ant. Hello, ant. And if we continue to hold on to codependencies, okay. So I'm feeling like a lot of people are working through stepping out of toxic relationships and toxic connections because they don't want to be single or a single parent. It is better to be in a union with yourself than it is to continue self-sacrificing in a toxic relationship. If you are sacrificing your love, your breath, your connection, your money, your mental aptitude, if you are giving so much energy to something and not receiving that in return, it's a toxic, unhealthy situation. And I would know. I'm learning that my Venus is in Pisces because I'm looking into the 13 sign astrology. Astronomy. I've been unweaving my birth chart in a new way. Turns out I'm very in alignment with my purpose, but that is irrelevant. This single energy that we hold on to in society is part of human desire. Yes. But it's also part of societal human experiences. We are pack animals. Bringing it back to the primal connection to the earth. We are pack animals. We are meant to support each other. And for the beautiful starseeds, sensitives, empaths, magical old souls that I attract, we're of a different tribe. We're here to shift reality. We're here to shift patterns, shift beliefs, break ancestral patterns, break religious dogmas, break the old systems. We're here to break the old systems, literally. can you step out of this fear of being single and step into alignment with your soul? Your soul is all encompassing. Your soul is connected to all that is. Your soul is the sun. Your soul is the moon. Your soul is the thumbprint of God consciousness itself. Do you not realize how big that is? You are a walking miracle. You're a walking stardust. You're walking magic, walking love. Religious would call it love, and we're connected to, I call that the most woo-woo thing ever. Religion calls it love, and the spirit of love, and the spirit of the Holy Spirit. It's magic. To me, it's magic. It feels like magic. It feels just fucking beautiful. Love is the root of that, and magic is the energy that comes from love. But you can experience that in union with yourself. You can experience love in union with yourself. When you're in union with your soul, everything changes. You're no longer codependent on outside experiences. You're no longer codependent on money, on addiction, on food. Maybe a little bit of food, because food is, good. I'm still working through that human experience. But sex, people. When you're in union with you, when you're in union with your soul, all those things flow through you. It creates nirvana. There's no fear of being single. There's no fear of being alone, because you're never alone. And I know I'm not just talking about your guides and angels. I'm not just talking about the woo-woo side of things. I'm talking about your connection to your human experience, your connection to the earth. It is mass. Matter turns into mass. Interesting teaching today. So if anybody's going through this space of singularity, struggling with being single, struggling with stepping out of toxic unions where it's sucking the life from your soul, this is a reminder that your soul is here to expand. Your soul is here to expand and love and cry and suffer and manifest and create beautiful orgasmic life experiences. And I'm not just talking about sex. I'm talking about experiencing life in your human body, experiencing energy, activating your chakras, connecting to the leaves, the birds, the plants, your pillow, the dog. All of life is living through you. But you have to be connected to yourself first. And if you're afraid of being single, it's keeping you in a self-sacrificing codependent experience. And I'm not saying you need to break up with your person, whoever this message is for, all the people who are listening, whatever that might be. If it's unhealthy, if you're unsafe, if you're emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, and physically being hurt, you're going to be okay. It's okay to leave the situation. In fact, that may be the biggest part of this next chapter for you. And including if you're doing that to yourself. Yes, it's going to be hard at first. Big things are hard. New big things are hard. And suffering is a human experience. But is it better to be hard for a minute while you're changing your life than it is to be staying in a life-sucking experience? And I'm not just talking about relationships, jobs, careers, friendships. Changing will be hard for a minute. Staying in a life-sucking experience is hard forever. Humans get so stuck in comfort. Humans get so stuck in what if. What if you don't make it? What if you do? What if you do? What if it's easy? What if the hardest thing is making the choice and then making the move, and then it's easy after that? All of these come down to the subconscious and the patterns within ourselves and how we have decided within our mind and within our subconscious of how life is going to go. It can be easy. It can be difficult too. But nothing's going to be harder on yourself than staying in a life-sucking experience of any kind. So let's not look at ourselves as single. Let's look at how we are creating union within our soul. How we are creating union within the connections around us. How we are creating union with love in all of its experiences. Love isn't through just human experiences. If you've ever had a pet that you loved, that was nothing like human experience. Yes, it'll be hard on yourself. Yes, it'll be hard on your children, but it's better than being in a life-sucking, codependent, addictive situation. Yes, we get addicted to trying to help somebody because I love them and I see the better side of them. Yeah, maybe so. But people have to decide to make moves themselves. People have to decide to love themselves. And sometimes the biggest part of love is choosing what is best for you, for your family, for your soul, and reconnecting to the union within you. You're not single. You're not alone. You may be temporarily alone, but you're never alone. Your soul, your light, your love, your connection is the most fulfilling part of the human experience. Once that is fulfilled, then getting into a beautiful relationship is amazing. It doesn't matter if it's 6 months, 5 years, 10 years. It doesn't matter how long